Hey, how's everybody doing? This is my Tikka T3x hunting rifle. This is a 270 model or 270 Winchester caliber. This weapon right here is one of the best weapons I've owned. It has a 22-inch barrel. Without the scope mounted, this weapon weighs about around 7 pounds. With the scope mounted, I will say 9 pounds, maybe 10. I will say, 9 pounds, around the ballpark of 9 pounds or whatnot. So it's not very heavy when you're carrying it through the woods. This weapon comes in the box with your lock. Your bolt is out of the weapon, and it comes with a little bit of manual. It talks about your warranty or whatnot. This weapon is composite. So, and then the back has foam or whatnot. I believe it's for reduced recoil, as well as a couple other things. The cartridge in this weapon, this is what it looks like. It will hold like 4 rounds. So I will say this is one of the best weapons I've ever owned. Period, hands down. I was in the military 20 years. I was in the Marine Corps. Shot those raggedy M16s they had on the rifle range, and I was an expert shooter. I was the guy on the range that took your money. If you wanted to talk crap, I was there for it, and I was there to take your money. And I did it over and over and over again. Well, I didn't take people's money. I just won lunch from them or whatnot. You buy me some lunch on base. But yeah, this weapon right here, I will say, is hands down. It almost made shooting effortlessly. I've always shot really good, known distance. Wind can be blowing, wind can not be blowing. It doesn't matter. 400 or 500 yards, I can hit a target. Where I wanted to hit it at. I could put a happy face on the target. I could put a crown on the target's, above the target's head. It didn't matter with those raggedy rifles we had in the military. I just thought it was easy. But this right here, when I purchased this rifle, and I put this Vortex scope on it, the rifle comes 1 minute of angle out of the box already. It's guaranteed. When I put this scope on, oh my God. I didn't shoot it before I put the scope on it, but I will say, when I put the scope on it and it was bore sighted it, anywhere I pointed this thing in with the tick marks inside of the scope and the reticle, I hit. This thing is accurate beyond belief. I never really believed in bore sighting when I was in the military, because every time somebody bore sighted a rifle, it was way off. But this one right here, once it was bore sighted, and wherever I shot, this thing hit. I was amazed. So much so, the first time I got it, it was right before I went out hunting. I got this rifle bore sighted, approximately, I will say, like, not even 12 hours before I went out hunting, and mounted the scope. So scope mounted, bore sighted, not even 12 hours before I went hunting. And because I was trying to hurry up and get it and go. All I have to say is, when I got out there, I was in a tree about, I will say, about an hour and a half. As soon as daylight break, 2 large does came out, and I hit one. The first time I shot this rifle, I hit the first doe. The second time I hit this rifle, I hit a buck. So all I have to say is, man, this thing right here, and I hit the deer where I wanted to hit them at. I was like, is this a fluke? It wasn't. And I hit the deer. I'll say the first deer was probably about 40 yards. The second one was probably about 80 yards out. The buck, he was probably about 80, 90 yards out. I still think that's pretty close. But at the end of the day, I hit these deer where I wanted to hit them at. And that buck, I was leaning back in the tree, like leaning almost out of the tree stand to hit this thing, to you know, and I hit the buck where I wanted to hit him at, right where I placed my reticle. I shot him. It was this rifle right here, hands down, is one of the best rifles. The price on this this weapon, I paid $770 at Outdoor Adventures here in Georgia. The scope is a 3.5 to 10 by 50 scope by Vortex. I paid $250 for the scope, and I believe it was $59 for the mounts. You know, just to show you with this weapon, bolt action. So to lift the bolt, you know, it's locked because it's on safe. The safety is metal, so it's not plastic like it was before. Once you lift it up, look at this. This is how smooth this is. Right here in the back, it'll show you when you know, when it's cocked, you know, when it's ready to fire. Here in the back. So I don't know if you can see that little red dot right here. You know, to take out the bolt. So what needs to happen to take out the bolt? You'll take it off safe, place it in fire, lift up on the bolt. There's a little lever right here. You push on this little lever, and you pull out the bolt just like that. Push back in. There you go. You're ready to rock. Like I said, this weapon right here is to say the least one of the best rifles I've ever owned. I'll just tell you that hands down. This this strap, I mean this sling is just a Browning's thing. I think I paid like $18 for it. You know, to help me carry the rifle around the woods or whatnot. But hey, all I have to say is this thing right here is one of the best rifles I've ever fired. Period, hands down. The sound is not super loud. I didn't have to. My ears wasn't ringing. You know, after I fired it, you know, my head wasn't pounding or whatnot. This is smooth. The recoils isn't bad at all. I've shot some weapons where the recoil is like just hammers your shoulder. I don't know, maybe because I'm muscular or whatnot, that it didn't really bother me. This rifle didn't bother me. I don't know, but this thing right here is hands down, I will say, one of the best rifles, and I think it's worth it. This is worth every penny of $770. This whole setup right here is about $1,000 with the sling, rifle, scope, and rings. It's about $1,000. You know, $1,000 setup right here. You can't beat it. If you're one of those guys that just want to spend, you know, a couple of grand on a rifle, hey, you know, go ahead, have at it. But if you're out there and you have $1,000 to spend on a rifle, this right here, I believe, is hands down one of the best rifles for your dollar. 1 minute of angle out of the box, and guaranteed. And with the right scope, hey man, this thing rock and rolls. So thank you guys for your time, YouTube. If I missed anything, place anything I missed down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.